What's the good word, y'all? DKB here. So I'm switching things up a little bit. I know when I posted before what other kind of content might you guys want to see. You mentioned sports reaction videos, so I'm running back through the NFL draft class, taking a look at one of the highlights that are posted, and we're going to do our reaction. So let's go ahead and get into it. It's Michael Clemons. We see 32 tackles, 7 sacks, a forced fumble, and a fumble recovery. Okay, I felt like the quarterback lost the ball on his own, but you see Michael Clemons here has some wheels on him. Essentially, it seems like the offense might have gave up on the play, but I do like the fact that he was able to find the ball. You see him secure it, no fumbling issues. He takes it to the house. That's always fun for the defense. Bullies his way here off the edge. And the power element that he's bringing to the game is something I love. We have a lot of people that can win with a bit of finesse, but having a guy that can purely just go in there and, as he mentioned, repeatedly punch you in a mouth all game, beautiful. Spin move, back inside, secures the sack. And I'm waiting for some of those moments, as he mentioned, where you see, him just kind of flip the switch, either mannerisms, some of these like post, sack celebrations and things like that. You see, if you ever see an offensive lineman, tight end, anything like that get turned around, you see him here eventually push this guy in his back, smooth out the way. That's crazy. Spin move. So you see him kind of already have a few things in his arsenal. Sets him up, kind of like a false jab there, and immediately hits him with the spin move inside. Comes off the edge, rips him clean. And keep in mind, personally, when I think of these NFL draft prospects, it's automatically like an age range in my head, 19 to 22, and Clemons is 24. Ooh. Tracks the ball guy down from behind. So, yeah, he has some giddy up in his game. I automatically think 19 to 22, but Clemons is 24 already. So, for all intents and purposes, he's already a fully developed guy on the books for us. So that's why we're saying we're really expecting an instant impact with him in his rotation. Tried to juke him out, wasn't able to make it happen. We forced the incompletion there. And this is something I really like to see, especially because we have such a diverse group of quarterbacks we're going to be facing this year in terms of them being dual threats and, being able to break some of these sacks and stuff. That week one matchup against the Ravens is going to prove, how well we're able to adjust. I'm also curious if we play any, spy coverage frequently. Okay. So one of the things I really like, and I think this happens, a handful of times in this game tape, is he doesn't get lost in these huddles a lot. You see him here, he walks himself into a run stop. I love it. Patience, boom, tracks the guy. And you can see why he's a leader of the defense. He's obviously it's a highlight tape, right? Everything's going to look great, but he seems pretty disciplined in a lot of what he's doing in terms of some of these assignments here. Again, another example, he didn't get lost in the pile. He was able to find his way inside again to try to keep it to a minimum gain. Sheds his guy, finds him. Again, doesn't get lost in the shuffle. So he's forcing his way into some of these plays, which is something I really like to see. And again, I can't really overemphasize the power element that I'm seeing here. It's definitely a nice compliment to a lot of these, more so kind of finesse guys, or at least some of the guys that are turning speed into power, whereas he's purely, as he's mentioned, just going to try to punch you in the mouth all game. So, as a whole, Michael Clemons, I definitely love the prospect. I love the personality for sure. He's a guy that I think truly does kind of buck the trend of guys that get in trouble, and then it really is a learning experience that they don't have continued to be a problem for them in the NFL. So I would say he's probably, even as a rookie, going to be like an unspoken leader in a way, just based on how he goes about working in practice, bringing some of these things from this highlight tape onto the NFL field and seeing some of that production there. But I'm curious. I think when we're talking rotation, he potentially could be right behind, however you want to think about it, Jacob Martin potentially. I don't know if he beats out outright like Bryce Huff and some of these other players on the back burner who, previously have been pivotal players for us. But I would say this is definitely a guy that's probably going to see easily 300 to 500 snaps based on our defensive line rotation. Again, probably just behind Jacob Martin, and I definitely love him year one in this rotational role. But fingers crossed, knock on wood, I would say even if somebody starter-wise went down with an injury and he, for whatever reason, was stepped up into that role, I can see him still having a lot of success. Depending on who he's paired up with, whether that's Jermaine Johnson, whether it's Carl Lawson, or somebody else, doesn't really matter. He seems like a player that can really facilitate things on his own. But let me know what your guys' thoughts are based on the highlight tape here and kind of what some of your own reactions are. Looking forward to some of these next ones that'll come up. We have Max Mitchell, the tackle, for one. I think he'll have some interesting stuff on tape for guys that didn't really know a whole lot about him. But then I'm definitely excited to get into the third round and above after that. But again, let me know what you guys' thoughts are. Catch you again. Peace.